Why do you believe Mumia Abu-Jamal is still incarcerated despite evidence proving his innocence and his health issues?
I believe Mumia is in prison despite the evidence, despite his health, because it's a personal vendetta. The FOP decided that they didn't want to see him out of prison. They didn't want him to see the light of day ever again. And they ain't changing their minds. It has nothing to do with murder. Nothing. It has nothing to do with any crime they say he committed. They decided that this is what they want, and they ain't changing their minds. And it ain't no skin off their back. What do they lose by saying let that nigga live in prison? They don't lose nothing. So they ain't not letting him out.
And I brought him up, man, because there are a lot of people in prison with some serious health issues.
Yeah, well, as we started this interview, one of the things that I said is the health is the most important thing for you, right? They don't care about your health. There's nothing compassionate about compassionate release. The state has this thing called compassionate release, and on the grounds of compassionate release, they'll let people out of prison. But the grounds, the rules for compassionate release are like you have to be within 6 months of death, and you have to be in a wheelchair, and it's like there's nothing compassionate about compassionate release. They don't care though. They don't care about his health. They want him to die. They tried to kill him. The death penalty was put on him on July 3rd, 1981. Death sentence. Mumia Abu-Jamal will be sentenced to death. Not life without parole, death. And in 1995, they signed his Tom Ridge, the Pennsylvania governor, signed his death warrant. He will be scheduled for execution on Marcus Garvey's birthday. And so they were trying to kill him then. But they haven't been able to because so much outcry from the people pushing it back. He got a stay of execution.
Have you met him in person?
Who, Mumia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've met Mumia many times. He was in the courtroom. He was in the courtroom when it was announced that my mother had me in a jail cell.
For real?
He was in the courtroom. He was one of the journalists taking notes to report that I was born in the jail. I've met him plenty of times. I became a hood journalist because of him. Yeah.
How's the spirit?
You would never know Mumia was in prison by visiting him. You might go to the prison thinking that you're going to say something to uplift his spirits, to give him some motivation or something, and seldom is that the case. Usually he makes you feel energized, like you can walk on water. His understanding of the system is so clear, and he makes it so that you can see it. Like his wording, he could say a phrase and it's just like, oh shit, I never thought of it like that. And it just takes your understanding, your knowledge of the system on another level. Like he says this thing, he said, war is America's favorite pastime. And think about that, huh? America has existed for all these hundreds of years. Rarely are we not at war. Rarely. You know what I mean? It's been 17 years? Of the 400 years, I think 17 of those years we have not been at war. 17. That's crazy. If we're not in war, we're funding a war. We're constantly at war. And if there is no war to fight, you know what happens? Gas prices go down, and food prices go down, and the American people get to live with a surplus. And the government doesn't get all of that excess money that they're getting from war. War is big business. And so, and what do? They extract all of these resources from the people that they say is, I don't know what gas is now, but I know it's more than it was.